kilter, I'm not even gonna try it because that'll just all right. Oh.
Oh, like a ninja.
Yo.
Ninja.
Every time. What up, Dro? Sup, Jax? Zay?
Yeah, give us a second. I'm waiting for CP time to get over here.
Fam.
It's that CP time.
This is.
Oh, baby. Come on now. Don't even. You know that's not what I meant by that at all. Nobody means that shit when they say that.
She really on that hurry up and wait, like for real, for real. She mean that. Anyway, let's start with our good news. Who got it? Who got the good news? Who gonna start us off?
I got some good news. I got some excellent news. I had a conversation with my boss yesterday. I guess she took a look at how much I actually make for the first time since I started there. And she was dumbfounded. She was like, "You literally make no money."
Oh my god.
She really just kept saying that over and over again.
Oh no.
So she's going to put in a raise request.
Yes. Let me hold a couple coins. Let me hold some coins, babe. Yes. Come through, Raise. Come true, Raise. That's what I'm talking about. Come true. I'm very, very happy for you. I hope they give you the biggest raise ever because you work hard. I see it. I believe it. And so I'm manifesting the greatest raise ever so that I can borrow some money.
Let me piece this first for you. You need that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Draw. Tell us what made you happy this week. Amina. What made you happy this week?
I'm getting, well, it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm getting my trademark certificate. So I need to get a frame. Frame it. They're mailing it to me this week. So
and what can tell is trademarked, madame?
Mixy Leaks.
Jaws.
Reality libations. Coming to you soon.
Awesome.
Jaws. Well, we can't see Zajax just yet. So I guess while they get situated. I'll share some good news on my end. Not sure what that is yet. Think about it. What up, Nat? Tell us some good news. Share some good news with us.
Don't try to skip your turn.
I'm not skipping my turn. I'm giving her, letting her know what part of the segment we at. We at the good news. Dang. Full bet. Cause like I don't want to share that part yet. I don't want to share that part till I get to like the official tissue step. So I'm waiting. I don't know. It's news. All right. So yesterday, right? I'm coming back home from my allergy shots, and I don't know what kind of Wiccan powers activated in me yesterday, but something was just like, call Leah and bring her a cookie. So I'll call my homegirl. I'm like, hey, are you home? I'll bring you a cookie. And she was like, not home yet, but I'll be home in 5 minutes. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll bring you a cookie. So drive over there. Vroom. Leah, here's your cookie. She's like, hey girl, hey, I got news. And I'm like, dope, what's your news? She's like, I just signed on the house. And I'm like, oh, lit. She's like, today. And I'm like, dope. And she's like, it's in Florida. And I'm like, cool for you. That's dope as hell. And she's like, I leave next week. And I'm like, oh. So like literally, I don't know what we haven't spoken, and I don't know how long, fam. But something told me literally yesterday to hit her up and she's literally leaving. Like, this is it. And I'll see her again. Yo, shout out to you. Okay, music.
What up,
Music Ninja Joshua. Appreciate you, fam. You love me. You really love me. Well, you love us. That's what this is. Appreciate you, fam. It's your friend. It is Kuchiki. You got a friend in me. Well, you got a friend in Music Ninja. Because that's who slid up in the DMs. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, so that was really good news for me to be able to see my friend before she dipsets out of New York City for Florida Jams. And I literally don't know what made me. It was like my spidey senses was like, check on Leah. And that hasn't happened in a while. Normally I just be like, we grown. Live your life. But and we were saying it yesterday when we linked up. We were like, yo, it doesn't matter how long we go without speaking to each other. Every time we link up, it's like we spoke yesterday. So that was a nice vibe. Music Ninja. Yo, your background is fleeky. Appreciate you for the biddies.
Talk about a blend.
Biddies.
Like,
y'all right on time. Music Ninja, tell us some good news. Tell me something good. You gotta tell us something good. I'm out here trying, Music Ninja.
You say that. Some good news.
Tell me that you love me. Yeah. Tell me something good. What happened to you? Some good news. Go ahead, Zay Jax.
One this week.
Hey, birthday tomorrow, lady.
My niece turned 1 this week.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to the niece. Happy birthday to the ninja. Ninja celebrating a birthday tomorrow. What's that turn up looking like, Ninja? Tell us in the chat. Jax, what's your good news?
Saved a bunch of money on car insurance.
Yo, throw Jax away. Throw Jax.
I couldn't do it.
Away.
The semester is almost over, Jesus.
Yes, that is very good news.
And
That is very
I
good
don't
news.
know about Alba, but if you're still in the CUNY system, people, it done signed like some grant thing to help students during this trying time. So the coin is about to roll in.
Oh.
Anybody that's a CUNY, look out for your direct deposit.
I'm upset. I'm not a CUNY student right now. Going to Universal, getting sauced? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I graduated from CUNY. Where my little coin?
Let me finish the
Reparations over here.
Facts. We need CUNY reparations. We need reparations.
Too,
Facts.
or just
Y'all-
undergrad?
You said what?
Is it for grad students too, or just undergrad?
I just seen an email with just like all CUNY students, so I'm not sure if it's
This is
specific to
insane.
undergrad.
This
I
is
just seen
disrespectful.
CUNY students and help with funds, and I was like, okay, money's coming.
This is disrespectful. Thank you, Ninja. That's the perfect emote because that is how I feel. Y'all be quick to hit me up to be like, alumna, can we help you? No, I cannot help you. Help me.
Help me, exactly.
You gotta be an alum. You gotta be more interactive. Maybe they wanna-
Happy Mother's Day this weekend. It's gonna be Mother's Day. You know,
Mama.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there.
All
Mother's
the
Day.
mamas. Does it count? I'm a lizard mama. I'm a lizard mama. Does that count?
All types
Right.
of mamas.
all mamas.
All right. Lizard shot. Come here, Olivia.
As long as they ain't mammies, we all good.
Lizard shot. Pretty Olivia. I feel like this is a perfect time to sing Circle of Life. She is really looking at me like, ma'am, you disturbed me for this. Lizard shot. 'Cause
He's
it's
really saying this. I
Namaste.
don't know these people. Put me down.
She is. She's like, please put me back. Fine, I put you back. She's like, I did not ask for this. You did not have consent. All right.
It's giving like Vice City. Like it's very stylized. I really.
It is heavily. That's part of my good news.
Contrast.
Some good
Thank
vibes.
you. This is my color right here. You know,
Yes.
That don't look orange to me though, fam. I'm confused.
it's coral. I like coral. Coral orange. I'm very a bright color. person,
Carange? You like carange?
I guess.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, so just gonna throw this out there, quick little promo. If anybody got a graphics card, and you just need the rest of the computer part, let me know because I got the computer parts. I just need the graphics card. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool.
Shameless plug. My lizard looks so lost in her tank now. She looked like, wait. She's literally like SpongeBob. All right, she's figuring it out. All right. So we're going to get into this very complicated topic of friendship. Because friends, how many of us have them? Friends. Who wanna kick it off and tell us what's the friend? What's that? What even?
Don't come to me.
What the?
We just have to answer the question.
All right, out of us though. Ninja said I might got like 3 friends, maybe. Out of the 5 of us, who might have the most friends? Who might have the biggest circle?
You.
Me?
That's between.
I feel like Zay got more friends than really.
Yeet.
Okay, then Kuchiki maybe. I don't even. I'm with Ninja. I got like this. I don't talk to many people. Like, okay, so how? Yes, my unicorn on. I'm living my best life. So, okay, how are we define? Okay, can we define friend first to figure out like if I really do have the most friends? Because I feel like
It depends on how you define it.
Right. I think why.
So let's figure that out first. Because I feel attacked.
I'm social. I'm friendly, but that doesn't mean I have a lot of friends.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Facts, no printer. So, how are you differentiating between being friendly and having a lot of friends?
Like I can.
Hey, appreciate you.
I
For
can
the sub.
converse with anyone really. I can be cool with anyone, but because my definition of friendship is so spectacular, I guess I would say.
Okay.
Most people don't uphold to that, so I can't say that I have a lot. I used to have a lot of friends, but
Okay.
in my youth I had a lot of friends, but now I'm just a friendly person with like 4 friends.
So, what is your definition of friend? So, what, like, where you like, you are my friend base because you fit this definition?
Okay, well, like I said in our little preview, my definition is a little different because my friends are my family because I don't have a lot of biological ties. So if I feel like if I would do pretty much anything for you with no hesitation and like I trust you and we've been through like the slums together and we still here, we made it out, started from the bottom and everything, and you've shown me that you were worthy of that, that's what makes you my friend.
Okay.
Good girl.
Okay. You saying that to say? I'm confused.
No, I'm Vivian is on a guest star, so she
Okay.
cut.
So someone has to prove to you that they can make it through the rain. # Mimi. So, but how does one do that? Is it like
I mean, it's
How
kind
do
of
they-
hard to explain because it's not like I have any like specific criteria. It's just your heart gotta match
Right.
mine in certain aspects. Like no person is the same. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? But like at the core, we gotta believe in the same things and like
Okay.
have the same kind of moral standing and what it means to be like supportive of another human being and like that kind of thing has to like match up in order
Gotcha.
for me to even be comfortable enough to call you my friend.
Okay. I'm really scared to ask Jax the same question because I feel like Jax about to say some wild, reckless shit, but
Why? That's so reckless.
it's always you, Jax. But Jax, how do you determine that someone has made it to your friend level?
No. Like,
Boy.
but I'm not gonna explain it because, like, I call people my friend, but it depends. Like, there's degrees in my friendship.
It's like obtuse angles and shit. What?
Like, there's tiers. There's tiers.
Okay.
So,
What's a top tier friend?
a top tier friend that I could call you and be like, "We out," and they just be like, "Where? Where to?" They don't know. It could be fucking 8 o'clock at night, chilling in bed, and I just want to go somewhere, and they be like, "All right, cool, we out." That's a friend.
They don't
Or
even
someone
question if
cool.
this is criminal activity or not.
No, freedom.
Top tier ain't asking questions.
You said what?
I said top tier ain't asking questions.
Right.
I mean, Phil, we on a whole ass podcast call. We got questions. I got motherfucking questions. Anything that involves Jax, I got questions. I'm
like,
nervous. I need to
if
talk
I
to
know
Zay
that
and
I can
confirm.
at like 3 in the morning and you'll answer, then yeah. Cause I got some friends that I'll call them and they'll let it ring out like some psychopaths. All you iPhone users before the update, y'all let it ring out because y'all couldn't swipe it away, and then motherfuckers text you and be like, "Oh, what happened?" Y'all motherfuckers are psychopaths. I'm gonna put that out there. But if you one of those people that let it ring out then text me, you're not top tier friend because I could be in the trunk of a car and you're not answering, and I know you ain't doing jack shit because I just seen you post on Facebook. So that's those are the ones.
So are they bottom tier or mid tier?
Those are low tier. Those crazy
They low tier. Cause
the top tiers are
what
the
up,
ones
Noah?
that
The realness. Okay, so Music Ninja saying missing the realness in NY because in LA it's not real over there. I feel that. So there's a different type of friendship you getting in LA is what I'm hearing. Maybe you want to tell us more about the kind of bonds you're getting in LA as far as like friendship versus the bonds you were able to forge in NY? Because I didn't even consider that, like how you're making friends in other states. I didn't even think about that.
Opportunist. They're your
I'm gonna
friends
tap into
that
that
you-
one actually because for me,
Noah said, "Who makes friends in LA?" Oop. You make contacts or get
First,
contact?
you gotta just know people from LA and be friends with them first before you meet them in LA. You don't make them while you're there.
Oh damn!
typically LA though, we can't say that about all of California.
Yeah, Noah just said, "I lived in Cali my whole 30 years of life." Oh, apparently Amina said it. You said it best. Ninja says, when I was in NYC, people that I didn't fuck with, people that didn't fuck with me did not fuck with me in LA. Everybody tells you that they want to be friends. Huh? Interesting.
True. That's true.
That is
kind
interesting.
of to our aesthetic though. Like New York aesthetic is like dead ass, 100, keep it real, and Hollywood is like movie
Kombucha.
acting.
But I want to say, I have to step in because for me, that's like there's different levels even within the, I'm gonna say LA because it's not just Hollywood. Within that, those bonds of friendship, like we all know, LA is like 99% of the people that are out there. First off, don't come there. They're not from LA. They come there. They just want to get into the business. One of the first things that we learned when we were doing this PA training program was that, like, they kept reiterating to us, these people are not your friends. And we still carry, like, even in our Facebook groups, we still carry that shit to heart, because it's like, you'll definitely make industry friends who will be there for you as long as shit is going good for you. But when shit is not going good for you, you know, then
it's like peace out, Cub Scout.
Ringing. So that is definitely a thing. Like, LA friendships, they can be very, very fickle. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Got you. So then how do you navigate that? Like, what happens if you actually vibe with a person? Like, is that even possible to vibe with a person on a personal level in that world?
Absolutely. And I like to what you always say to me, you always say, like, I'm the most social, antisocial person. And what's driving me is probably what's also driving people, as the same people as well, as like, this is still your job. And there is no LinkedIn or submitting your resume. Like, the way that you get your next job is based on whether or not people can stand being in the same room as you. Because when you're working on the industry, you're working 16 plus hours a day. Like leaving a job after 12 hours a day is like a good day. So it really is like, the talent wise, like, you're not doing anything super, super special that anybody can't do. It literally just comes down to, can I stand being around you? And when it comes to industry friends, you form those bonds over particular things. Like, you might have the same interest in music or movies, or, you know, there might be like one or two things that where you form your bond and you form this friendship, you know. It could
What happened?
I don't know. He'll be back. Yeah. There he is.
We are experiencing minor technical difficulties. Please wait 1 moment. One
moment, please.
I'm back. Y'all see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always crashes 1 or 2 times. Ajax, I swear I don't have anything over this. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm done anyway. That's what I was. Mojo Jojo.
But I feel that. Noah said he fucks with that social, antisocial. Yeah, y'all are the same. I feel like I tell him that all the time. I'm always like, yo, Kachiki, you are the most social because he'll be out, he'll network, and then he'll be like, all right, I'm taking off my human skin. I have peopled for the day. I'm done. I've reached my limit. Y'all had 1 hour. Y'all got 55 minutes. I'm sorry, that 5 minutes is for me. I'm done. And I feel it. Like, we got to set boundaries. And I feel like that's also a thing that's really hard to do in friendships. Like, actually setting boundaries. Because I feel like sometimes friends kind of feel like, but we friends. What's a boundary? What is that? So, like, how do you even do that? Like, how do you be like, we friends, but, like, don't do that shit? Like, how do you...
I think it's about giving yourself and your friends grace and recognizing that boundaries, like people, change and grow. So what might have been a boundary before ain't a boundary anymore. What might have not been a big deal is a big deal more so now. And having that space in your friendship where y'all can talk about uncomfortable shit, knowing that two of y'all compromise or have established a history of difficult conversations, so that when shit like this comes up, you know, at least at the very minimum, y'all will respect whatever compromise y'all come to. But like, if that's not even something that's been established in the friendship that y'all can do, then it's not that it's difficult. It becomes just impossible to do. It's not a real friendship.
Facts. Music Ninja said, you let them know. That's it. You just be like, this is what it is. But I also feel like, especially when you become close with somebody, it becomes, because you don't want to hurt a person. You become very hyper aware of how someone's going to feel. And sometimes you don't want to hurt that person's feelings. Just, it's like you don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face. So it's like, you're being hurt, but you don't want to hurt them. So how do you say this delicate thing without hurting this person? And so friendships become, especially like Jack said, is tears. So if you real close and I'm trying to say something that is like a bother to me, like how do I bring that to you in a way that's communicating how much this shit bothers me without affecting or bothering you? Like I don't want to, I'm not trying to bring a double-edged sword into the room, but it's friendships become real hard to navigate. And then sometimes when you think you know a person and you trying to be like, hey, so this thing hurt my feelings, and sometimes what is hurt my feelings? And then it's like, fam, that's not where I was going with this. And so it just becomes real hard to navigate when you're just trying to see a clear path forward. So as Jax brought up earlier, there are in fact different levels for many of us. Jax explained her tiers. She went top and low. I didn't hear about a mid. I'm curious to know what are some of these tiers for each of us.
You talking
Amina? You wanna tell us what your tiers are, ma'am?
Me?
Amina? Well, you told us top and low. I gotta come back to you for a mid tier, friend.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
My tiers are basically either along function, or struggle. So I have friends that are like, okay, they're good for making me laugh, like, and distracting me. So these are the friends I'll go to because I know when I'm talking to them, I'm gonna completely forget about what was going on because they either talk nonstop, are crazy funny, or always got some other shit that's even wilder than my shit for me to hyper focus on in the meantime until I'm ready to deal with my shit. Okay. Then I got the friends that I go to that I know, like, if I'm making life choices and decisions, I know they either have done this thing or they know where to find out more information to do this thing. So I got those friends. And then I got the friends who I go to like talk me off a cliff because I know they're going to tell me the thing that I don't want to hear, even if I need to hear it or don't, you know what I mean. Or I have the friends who gonna hype me up and let me do the thing, no matter what. And they're just gonna be like, listen, if you like it, I love it. So I have friends in those, I have tiers like that based on their function, and then I have tiers based on the struggle. Like if the hardest thing we've gone through is, I don't know, one of us broke up in a relationship, you're like friend level 1. But if the hardest thing we've witnessed with each other is like death in the family or a crisis or some medical situation, we're a little closer. You're like level 5.
Okay, I fucks with it. Kuchiki, you ready to speak?
Yeah, sorry, I'm still a little raw. I'm not gonna be honest because I'm going through something with a friend right now where we're essentially like we have to lower the tier level that we're at because it's just not working for where we're both at in our life right now. So I'm a little triggered, forgive me, y'all. But I think it's a matter of trust. Like I definitely have a high trust level if I consider you a friend. And I think I'm learning that it's about like who I'm vulnerable with. Like if you're a low tier friend, like chances are you've probably seen like 1 or 2 of my personalities. If you're a mid-tier friend, you've definitely seen me like, I don't know, maybe like 5 of my personalities. And then if you're like a top tier friend, you just know that I have multiple personalities and you're gonna see them at different times. And you're like, it is what it is. That's Kuchiki.
Ninja, whose shirt you talking about? You talking about Kuchiki cute ass shirt? Whose shirt? Because Ninja like, that's my best friend. Yes! Kuchiki cute ass shirt. Yes! Show it live.
Music Ninja is Apple's former #1 employee over here.
Oh, let's talk about it. So, Ninja, were you also the one that was waiting for the phone to stop ringing before you sent the text? Were you the... Jax got rogue. We got questions. We got questions. We want to know. Did you wait for the phone to stop ringing?
Yes, they all do.
Ninja said, "See, look, wait." Ooh, that's not an answer, Ninja. You didn't answer the question. I think a non-answer is the answer.
That's right.
I think Ninja was one of the people that was like, "Let me wait for this phone to stop ringing so I can text back."
It's
Damn.
okay if you were, but just admit.
Just admit you were low tier, Ninja. Ninja, why you low tier? Why?
I only did it for people who called a lot. Like, if you're one of those people, you call me, we talk, we hang up, then you call me back. Oh, one more thing, and then you hang up. Then, yeah, I'm gonna let you ring because you're talking too damn much. Say it all at once or leave me the fuck alone. Like, damn.
I'm finna call you 50-11 times now, Mina. I'm about to call you every day, all day. We about to be on video chat, and you just gonna watch me do my job.
Listen, I am queen of walk away mid convo. I will be queen of hang up mid convo.
Oh, she not even lying. Amina will walk away in the middle of her own sentence. Amina don't give a fuck.
As I'm talking, like,
I'll be like, Amina, I literally cannot hear you, and she'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. She gotta come back. She don't. Damn.
Okay, I'm back.
Zay, your tears, boo.
Yeah, basically, like, at this point, it's either you up or you not. Like, cause I had all them tears. I was very diligent about, like, who was my friend, what it meant. I was really into that. But now it's like, either you give a shit about me or you don't. Cause either way, who you care about is gonna show you they care.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even, like, I was really like, oh no, she's my top tier friend because she always answers when I call, or she's my bottom tier friend because she only calls me when she's bored. But now it's just like, people could say anything and do anything, but an actual friend shows up and shows love. So
Got you. That actually reminded me of like a segment that I forgot who he was talking to, but I think it was Busta Rhymes when he was like, you can't even be my friend if you don't pick up the phone when I call. And everybody was like, oh, Busta, you asking for a line? And he's like, no, like, if you're that is a requirement of my friendship. I require that my friends pick up the phone when I call them. He's like, it's very simple. If you cannot do the one thing that I am asking you, fine, but then we cannot be friends. We can't be friends. Sorry, Deborah Cox, love her. But he was like, that for me, that's my line in the sand. That's my boundary. Who is it? Spliff? I forget. Is that his Redman and his Method Man? Spliff? Is that the guy?
Star.
Thank you. You be knowing. But he was like, that's why that's my dog. He picks up when I call. For me, and I'm trying to think, are there any like expectations, some non-negotiables that we might have in our friendships? So while y'all think about y'all non-negotiables, I'll talk about my tiers, if any, I have. Because I feel like I always put y'all on the spot and then y'all are like, give me a second, let me process. So my tiers, I think similarly to Amina, I don't necessarily have like top tier, low tier. I have my inner circle. I have categories, but then I have like Dante's Inferno. I got circles. But I think as far as the closer to me you are, the more I trust you with my trigger button. That is how I define my friendship. to be my friend means that I've given you the button to be able to hurt me, and I am trusting that you're not going to ever push the button. So you got the codes, you know the pin to like hit the destructo button. But as my friend, I'm trusting that you're never going to hit that button. So your ability, how much damage you do when you push the button changes depending on like how close, like which circle you're in. Because there's probably like 9 circles like there are in Dante's Inferno. Yes, Dante! Depending on how close you are, that's how much damage you can do. Because if you out there, you can't do much damage. But if you like right here, yeah, you're going to do a lot of damage. So like everyone you see in this podcast, they can do a lot of damage. They can do a lot of damage. Everyone here. There's a few people that are not here can also do a lot of damage. Not that many people that are not here. Maybe like 2 other people that are missing that can do a lot of damage. And that's just because those are the people that I can confide in and I can talk to. I don't have a lot of people that I talk to about my personal business. I'm usually listening to everybody else's business. I don't cry a lot. So if you've ever seen me cry, you are in a very close circle. I literally was talking to my sister the other day, and I shit you not, my sister was like, you don't cry a lot, so I'm gonna cry for you. And I was like, damn, it's like that. She was like, it's fine. You don't it's hard for you to emo. I got you. I'm a feel for you. And she cried for me on my behalf because it's hard for me to feel stuff. So when I have friends like that in my life, those are the ones I let closer because those are the ones I feel have my best interests at heart. If I got people in my life that don't think like that I have to like express or explain myself when it's like, I don't mean harm, or you should know me. You should know I mean well. If I have to try to be like, well, I didn't mean that. If it's like that, then you in the far circle. Because you don't know me very well. It's like, clearly you still got a lot of learning to do. You in the far circle. We cool, but you in the far circle. And I think that's how shit has to go. You can change circles. Like, you could get closer, you could go further, but that's how I categorize. Those are my tiers.
I was going to ask, like, do you guys, I guess for everybody, but since you just said that, Nirvana, like, do you, to Calba's earlier point, like, when it comes to, like, grace, do you, like, if you and a close friend fall out, do you give the space to possibly, like, renew whatever it is that you guys had? Or is it just a case of, like, we're now, like, in this lower friendship level or circle or whatever, and that's it? Like, how much give and take is there as far as, like, access to friendship?
Depends. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It depends for me on how you reacted to the fallout. The fallout itself is neither here nor there. But if you did some like shady shit, like, oh, we not friends, so I'm gonna tell everybody your business, that says a lot about you. I don't. That's a trust thing. You broke the trust down. That's different. That probably we're not gonna get back because that's shattered. That's like a glass that fell into a million pieces. Even if we glue it, there's still pieces you're not gonna find. You're not gonna be able to glue it back all the way. So it depends on how you move after this huge cataclysmic event that shows me if you can still be trusted. For me. Amina?
For me, I think it's 3 things. It's 1, it's how you handle the fallout if you show maturity. 2, it's the level of friendship we had before the event happened. And then 3, regardless of what level of friend you are, I'm going to look back at things you've done in the past, how you conducted yourself to see if there's a theme there. If I find that the behavior that caused the issue was a theme and not some, specific circumstance or whatever, then I have to reevaluate, because what's to say you're not going to repeat yourself, even if you are genuinely sorry in this moment for the thing you did. If I see that's something that you've done just in other ways that I didn't notice before, I'm inclined to believe you're going to repeat yourself. So, and if you were a friend that we're like, we were just getting to know each other and we had a falling out, then we can go right back to that as long as there's not a theme of it. But if you were like a super best friend and we have a falling out, we're going to need to work back towards that closeness, because the more there is in the friendship, when it's crushed, there's a longer healing process. If we just, sort of close friends, that's like getting scratched with a knife. If we best friends, that's like a gunshot wound. That shit don't go back automatically. I need a healing process. I'm gonna need bed rest for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna need plenty of fluids. You know what I mean? So it's those 3 things,
Zajax?
You want to start?
Go ahead, player.
Not player. I saw the whole side conversation. I'm like, what the hell they saying? What going on?
I'm not talking no foolishness. The topic at hand was like the grace, right? To become friends again. Okay. So me and my best friend has fallen out 3 times. I guess I give a lot of grace. I just be throwing out grace.
She Oprah with the grace. You get grace. Everybody get grace.
I mean, the first fallout, we were still teenagers, so I guess that one I can't feel in my way because I still be in my Birkin about it sometimes. But yeah, I give a lot of grace. It depends on how long we've been friends, and like if I feel like I was disrespected for a multitude of times in our friendship. But if I don't feel like I was disrespected that much, then yeah. But it's not gonna be like when I give grace, it's not gonna be like how it was the first time. Like every time, if there's more than one fallout, there's going to be less and less trust with that person. Like, doesn't necessarily mean you become bottom tier, but it does mean that I'm going to be like, I don't know if I should come to you about this feeling that I'm having, even though it doesn't have to do with us. I just, I don't know. So, yeah, because I'm pretty much an open book with a lot of people, with a lot of things. But then, like, there's some things I tell my friends, and I'm like, I'm expecting you to act a certain way, and I know if I tell you this, you're going to say some shit that's going to get me mad. So, yeah. But yeah, I give out fairly enough grace. Yeah. Zay?
Zay.
Zay made face right now.
They've been giving face since the episode started.
Okay.
Yes.
She in the same room with Kuchiki. Like she in her this topic is really in her.
Triggering. Oh, Zay, I was telling you. I feel you.
So,
Gotcha.
Your girl.
You give mad grace too. Don't even.
Yo!
Let me tell you something about myself. Your girl gave out too much grace. I was too forgiving. I was like handing out grace by the boatload. But it's only so much you could do that for too long. Like you can't. Eventually, something like you just like, nah, I can't live like this. So now, whereas like back in the day in my younger years, I used to be like, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Now it's not all right. Now it's like, okay, that's what you wanted. Okay, that's fine. So now don't be surprised when I don't navigate with you the way that I used to, because I gave 1,367 chances. But on that 38th time, that's not happening anymore. Because I'm tired, like that don't make sense. And I felt like when you give out a certain amount of grace for a certain amount of time, that becomes a part of your personality. Like, oh, I can violate her because she's the doormat friend. She's the doormat person. She's the one that, as long as I say I'm sorry and smile really hard and bring some treats, she'll forgive me. So now I am not the grace friend anymore, because I know the kind of friend that I am, and I know the love that I give out, and I know the love that I deserve. So if I'm not gonna do anything that would make you have a reason to give me grace in the first place, there is no reason for me not to get top tier energy at all times, because I'm a top tier person. So now, if I get violated or hurt or something happens, we done so.
I feel that. Cooter, talk to us. What does it take for you to forgive a person, a friend, when they've crossed that line in the sand, when they've fucked up a boundary that's been set? That's where we're at in the conversation right now. But we're about to switch gears slightly and talk about the expectations we have of our friends for them to even cross that boundary. Because we have that age-old, never leave your man with your best friend. And I'm like, why? If that's your best friend, you're supposed to be able to do that. In fact, people always say these stupid, like, little things about, like, friendships in general. So what are some expectations you have of your friends? So one of Jackson's from her top tier, you gotta pick up her call at 3 a.m. and you gotta be ready to ride out when she say let's go. No questions asked. It don't matter. Let's ride. We out. No, for real. What are some of your real like your real genuine expectations of a friend?
I only said that because I'm really spontaneous sometimes. Like, I'll legit be doing jack shit, and then I'll be like, yo, let's go. And it'd be 12 o'clock, and they'd be like, what are you talking about? Where we going? They're like, I don't know. We just gotta go. I'm not going to start. I just want to respond to that because I'm still thinking of, like, shit. So, Zay can take the floor. Oh, Sophie.
You have offered up Zay instead of answering the question.
What? No, Jax, you start.
Let's be clear that she already made it clear to y'all that I'm triggered. So she keeps offering me up to talk about the fact that clearly I'm going through something. But it's okay. My expectations, I think I made the mistake of holding my friends to too high of a standard. That's what I think. I think because I carry myself a certain way and I behave a certain way, and I'm like the number one cheerleader. Like, if it's your birthday, I'm acting like I was there the day you were born. You know what I mean? If you got to promote, like, I'm that friend, and I feel like, you know, that could be a bit much for a lot of people in my life. So I feel like maybe I held them to too high of a standard. Maybe you know,
expected yourself in your friendships.
Yeah, like, you know how they say, what's the saying? Expectation is the mother to disappointment or something like that. So I feel like I get disappointed a lot because I hold when my friends do dumb shit. I don't know. There's people that be like, I'm not gonna judge my friends no matter what they do, but I'm not that person. Because if you're my friend, like if you're in my life, that means I know you and you know me, and I know that whatever you're doing that's dumb or unacceptable or gonna hinder your growth in any way, I'm not gonna sit there and watch you do that. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and let you destroy something you're working on for yourself because you want to be dumb in that moment. So some people see that as like, oh, like you're trying to be like a mom or you're being judgy or whatever. But again, maybe my standard of friendship is too high. I'm just not gonna be okay with my friends being dumb. Now, if you want to get a tattoo, go for it, sis. It's your body. But like, if you like, I'm chopping up this line of coke right now, we lit. Who the fuck is we? Like, I don't. It doesn't make like.
Bitch, I'm not French. Wait.
It just doesn't add up, and I just feel like because my friends are my family, and my family is a reflection of me. So if I'm walking around holding myself to a certain standard, knowing it's certain things I won't do to disappoint my own self, why would I then allow somebody I love to do that? But apparently, that standard is too much. So maybe I have to change my expectation of how I view people.
Change these friends.
Yo, Jax.
You heard me?
Yes.
She peeps everything. Don't you know this?
I know. No. Zay has literally been this like the best friend to everybody that don't deserve it, and for years I've been telling like, you too friendly, sis. You gotta like reel it in. These bitches is not, accepting the vibe.
Thank you, Ninja.
And I'd be like, my favorite phrase, I don't say it a lot to you guys, but I say it a lot to Zay. I'd be like, fuck them. That's it.
You do say it a lot of times. We hear it.
She'll hang up the phone and be stressed, and I'd be like, who stressed you out? And she'd tell me, I'd be like, that's dumb shit. Fuck them. Like, we go into a new chapter, new decade. It's time to get new friends. That's it.
It's really difficult. You say that, but it's really difficult.
It is hard
to make friends as an adult, because people don't understand. Like, that's why most of the friends that I have, I've known since I was children. Because when you're children, you're put in an environment to cultivate friendships. That nobody takes you as an adult like, okay, you're gonna meet at this Barnes and Nobles, and whoever all likes the same books, y'all about to talk to each other. It doesn't work like that as an adult. So most people hold on to friends they've had the longest, confusing longevity with quality, but that's not, you know what I mean? Like, do we really have a choice when adulthood it's difficult and it's hard, especially now when we're in a pandemic? It's like even harder to be social and together and all that. So you really got to start from the bottom up if you're gonna throw out all the friends you've known since you were 6.5 and create all these new, like, that's not easy.
I ain't say throw them out.
And then just said, be his friend then, damn it.
Yeah,
you just made a new friend. But we definitely fucked up because we didn't start with Cancel Corner, but we certainly should have, because you bring up a point. We were supposed to cancel the idea that longevity is supposed to trump quality. Like, right. It's not.
It's not. It shouldn't.
I think longevity kind of goes back to the point of what family says to you a lot, right? Like, I'm your family. You've known me longest. You're supposed to automatically choose me. And it's like, no, that's not how that's going to work. Not in my adult life,
Yeah.
That part.
There's this idea that your friends can't possibly know you the way I know you because we're blood related. And it's just like, man, we are in the same house, but we are in two different universes. You don't know me.
I saw some shit today where it was like, if you knew me when I was like in my 20s, you knew season 1 me. We on season 7, baby. You don't know this version of me. This is a whole lot of story arc and character growth. You don't know this version. So that longevity shit, kick it in the ass. That holds no weight here. It's like trying to hold water in your fingertips. It don't work. Like, so it don't. So, like, the idea that a friend that you've known longer should trump a friend that you have far more of a quality bond with, it's just because I've known you for 10 years, but I've known this person for 10 months, but they've been rocking with me solid in that 10 months, and I feel like I could call that person at 3 a.m. like, yo, I'm in tears, and that person's like, I'm on my way. Like, I'm a fuck with that person more heavily than the person I've known for 10 years if I don't have that type of relationship. So I think, Zay, you were right to propose the idea that we put longevity versus quality in Cancel Corner, because longevity should not trump quality. Quality should always win. That's what matters most in a bond, right? Time don't matter.
Is that the clips I see?
Yo, Jax, I'm gonna need you to stop being so shady in them shades, fam.
They're not even shades. That's the crazy part. But yeah.
I know they're your computer glasses, but still.
Can I add an additional topic for Cancel Corner? Because I had a friend reach out. We were talking today, and he was like, he'd take a look at something from me, and he's literally like really going through it. And he was like, I'll do it for free. And I'm like, bro, like there's no way I'm gonna let you do this service that you do so well and not pay you. So like, y'all, we have to cancel the idea that like we should just automatically get services from our friends for free. Like, if we truly care about our friends, like, we should be willing to pay them for their services. I'm throwing that out.
They're charging for you.
You are very right, but I will say I legitimately just asked you for headshots, and I ain't offer you $1.
But that's a little bit different though, because like that's like the headshots wouldn't be possible without your contribution. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like you've literally done nothing to contribute to.
No, you're absolutely right.
Having services, you know.
Yeah, but can we still? Is it still okay to be like friends and family discount though? Because like that exists.
Yes. Bro. I'm sorry. I was trying to be quiet.
Why are you? No, but I fucks with that 100% because I definitely feel like there's no way for us to thrive as a community, especially if we're trying to uplift our friends, if we're not trying to support our friends with the same effort and energy that we support in Apple and Samsung and PlayStation and Xbox. If we're willing to put hundreds into these companies, but we can't put full price into our friends, what the fuck are we doing? But no, Jax, I'm not sending you money. Please come clean my computer. Thanks.
Oh no, DC.
I take it back.
No, but that's a good point because it also shows like, what do you think of me as an artist? If you don't think, you know, like that's what I've noticed. Like, shout out to my homegirl Miriam because she paid me just to talk to her, and I thought that was so beautiful. Like, I would have, first of all, I'm obsessed with her, so I would have talked to her for free for the rest of her life if she wanted me to. But she was like, "No, we don't believe in free labor. Here you go." And I'm just, well, I thought it was beautiful because I have friends that will be like, "Hey, can I pick your brain about this thing I'm writing?" And I'm like, "Yo, writing takes work, fam. Like this is like a full-blown thing, a think tank you want me to do, and I'm not getting compensated." So I feel like that's important too, because it's less about the fact that, you know, or whether the monetary value, but it's really about who do you think I am as a person, especially if like you're like an artist or like you don't have it like that to just be shelling out your gift for free. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can, you know, if you care about me or if you value my contribution to society, you might want to let me, you know, show me that in whatever way that you can. But you know,
I legitimately just had a conversation with my homegirl, and it, granted, it's a lot she's going through, and she was talking to me, asking me explicitly for advice. You're asking me explicitly for advice. She's like, "I know, because you have a psychology degree. So where's my money, fam?"
right.
Put the coin in my hand then. She's like, "No, but you have a degree for this stuff." All right. My hand empty though. Because you can pay a therapist for this. I give you the friends and family discount though. But it's like, I want to get into the habit of asking my friends, do you have the emotional space, the capacity to handle what I'm about to burden you with? Because that's a lot. Because I expect my friends to be able to handle, to hold what I'm going to put on their plate. And I got into the habit of asking my brother and my sister, like, you know, do you want me to just listen in this moment, or do you actually want some advice? Because sometimes they don't always want me to respond with a solution. I'm so quick to solve something, I got to be better at listening to what they need. So I'm trying to be a better friend in that regard. So it's not only my expectation of my friend, but my expectation of myself in the realm of our friendship. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in what we want from the other person, we forget about our role in that relationship too.
Absolutely.
Drop the mic. So like, with that being said, like I always try to be cognizant of that, of like, how much am I putting on your plate as my friend, and how much am I taking off of you. Yo, Jax, your face.
She was bothering me.
I keep forgetting I'm on camera.
Because you damn near blended with the background.
Why should I take it back?
I've been drinking.
Clearly.
I think one thing you take into how you like develop friendships and build them is also recognizing that you are not responsible for your friends' feelings. I think when we are friends with people, we decide that their burdens are all our burdens under this, like, you know, we friends, we ride together. And it's like, there's riding together and then sitting in there like trying to drive for them. One is helpful and one is detrimental. And one thing I've learned to do is realize that I can't control how my friend is going to react to a thing I'm going to say. I just have to do the best job I can in being respectful as I say the thing that I'm going to say, but I still owe it to them to say the thing, no matter how uncomfortable they might be. And also grant a kind of environment where if they do feel uncomfortable or burdened by the thing that I said, that there's a way for them to process it in their own time, in their own pace. But I can't take on the burden of trying to police how they're going to feel about what I said. Because ultimately they are still their own person and I'm my own person, and I will offend you sometimes as your friend. That's going to happen. But as long as I'm not like, oh, well, fuck you then. You can't tell me that I bothered you or what I said, like, that's not going to work. But giving your friend the space to be offended by something you said and being able to own it when it's brought up to your attention, I think is vital to building an authentic friendship.
What advice would you give to someone trying to forge a healthy relationship in any situation, be it like at school or at work or just, as they said, in Barnes and Nobles? Because, like, yes, let's be friends in Barnes and Noble.
Non-negotiables as best as you know them about how you do friendships, even the unpopular non-negotiables. Like, for example, unlike, I don't know if it was Busta Rhymes said, I am not a phone person. That's just not how I do friendships. If you expect me to get on the phone with you multiple times, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I don't like being on the phone. I'm more of an in-person conversationalist, and I'm the type of friend that will appear in emergencies. If you need an emergency, I'm the friend you call at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll most likely respond within the hour, and I'm ready to ride. But am I the friend who's going to know to talk to you every day and send you a text in the morning every time? No. And that's just, and I used to guilt myself about that, like, oh, you should be that type of friend. Oh, that's that person. That's easy for them to do. Me, I'm the ride or die friend. And I perform friendships differently. When we meet out for dinner, it'll be like we saw each other yesterday, even though it was 3 years ago. And for some people, they need to see each other every day, or at least communicate in some way every day. And there's nothing wrong with either type of friend. But I think being able to list out what type of friend you are from the jump as best as possible can kind of help people avoid unrealistic expectations being placed on you, which can then avoid certain issues coming up later. It's kind of like trying to figure out what your friendship language is instead of your love language. What is your friendship language?
But your love language that applies. Your love language and your friendship language are one and the same because it still applies here. Kuchiki, what about you? What would you offer as some friendly advice? That's dope ass advice, Amina.
Yeah, again, to Calva's point, like, you just have to be honest. You have to be honest about what you need out of a friend, and what you can offer up to that friend. And you know, if that changes over time, you need to be able to communicate that, because that's really how you maintain the friendship, is communicating what you need. And if, you know, just talking about for myself, again, kind of triggered, like, I've always traversed through life kind of atypical when it comes to social interactions. I've never been much of a talker. I've never been able to form deep bonds in such a way that's typical because of my upbringing and because I've always had trust issues with the people, family, your first friends, and once that trust was violated, it shaped the way that I'm able to form the bonds that we're supposed to have with friends. And so it's taken a long time. I'm still learning what it means to be a good friend. And there are going to be ups and downs, but like the reality is sometimes a friendship starts out great and you actually think it's healthy, and then you realize that it's not. What you're giving the person isn't necessarily healthy for them. And rather than, putting your ego at first and saying like, well, I can do this, like it's not just me, yada yada yada, you have to be honest. You have to respect that friend's feelings. If that friend is saying like, this isn't working for me, and you're honest about, what you can and can't do, then, if the friendship isn't healthy enough to survive, then it is what it is. But like, that's just my advice in order to have and maintain a healthy friendship. Just be honest and do your best to communicate.
Good shit. Zajax. Why you always look at Zajax? Damn.
Talk. I'll be ready to talk. I'll be listening. What's some advice to what? What's the prompt?
What advice
do I
give school?
To be for friendships? I'm not the person to ask, y'all. I'm the best terrible friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I really don't. Just having a form of communication, that's very important. And speak up. Like, don't let your friends say some shit and you feel some type of way. Then you start acting funny, and then weeks later you be like, oh, by the way, what you had said in 2017, I felt a way, so I just feel comfortable now to bring it up to you. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're really not, because like, maybe I come off as a person that you can't talk to, which I really don't think that's the case. Like,
you're a little aggressive, I can see it.
I guess, but a lot of this is why I say like I don't have that many friends, because literally some of my friends, I think like maybe one or two of my friends will deadass check me the next day or in that moment, like, bro, that deadass made me feel away, da da da, and I'm like, oh, my bad, da da da. But then my other friends, literally weeks will go by, sometimes months, then I'll be like, I just felt like I couldn't come to you, but we've been laughing, going out, going to dinners, karaoke, bowling, and you was feeling this way? Do you really wasn't feeling that way then?
Do you think that may be why? Because you literally just said to us, fuck them. you be fuck your feelings. Why would I try to tell somebody that something hurt me when I think this person is gonna be like, I don't give a fuck?
But I've never been that type of person. If someone tells me, listen, you made me feel some type of way, like, I respect that. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it came off as a joke. I thought you got the hint. I thought the vibes was in a joking vibe. But I made you feel some type of way. I do apologize. Like, I won't bring that up. I won't joke about that again. Like, just tell me once. It won't happen again. But
and also, sometimes it's not even you, Jax.
And I'm like, still bringing it up, laughing, and we laughing together. He's laughing with me, and your feelings is hurt.
Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes people are like non-confrontational, and sometimes it has
a confrontation.
Telling someone that something you did makes them uncomfortable can be perceived as that makes people anxious. So even though you perceive it as non-confrontation, it still registers as anxiety. So that is hard to a person that's hard for some people to do when they're feeling uncomfortable about something. It doesn't matter how easy you are to talk to. That's still a hard thing to do, to be like, yo, I gotta tell my friend something she did makes me uncomfortable. I gotta muster up the courage. I ain't got it. And sometimes it's not you. You look.
Because no, my thing is, you're going, like, you pick me up to hang, like, if you're someone, most of my friends, I talk to them every day. Obviously during the pandemic, like, we all just fell off the cliff. We all just died. It's over. But before that, literally, all of my friends, we talk in the morning, every day, or at least twice a week. So, like, if you feel some type of way, usually I pick up on it. Like, if you don't text me for like 3 days straight, I'm like, all right, I must have said some shit. And I'll be like, yo, what's the matter? But if you don't say nothing, like, oh, I feel like something's off. I'm coming to you. Did I say something wrong? You say nothing. And then, like, after me coming to you, and then we go back to regular stuff, and we do our regular routine. And then you're like, oh, well, this actually made me feel some type of way. I'm going to be like, so then were you faking those last 6 weeks? Like, were you really feeling me? Or you were just
more complicated than that. I think it can be a little more complicated than that, because when you're talking about people who are friends, remember that they are coming with a whole past. I could easily say that the person who did that is someone who has been maybe even dealing with family members who in the past they have learned from those family members that once they bring up, hey, this made me uncomfortable, family members spazzes out. Like, for example, my mama, you can't tell her nothing that you're uncomfortable with without her hearing it as, oh, she's a bad mother. So she goes to level 10 when I'm talking at level 2. So when you grow up with someone like that, who pops off at the moment you say, I'm uncomfortable, takes everything and makes it into a hill out of a mole, out of a little thing, you have post-traumatic stress disorder. You start to feel like anytime you say you're uncomfortable, someone is going to fly off the handle. It doesn't matter that you have never shown that kind of personality at all, ever. They have now put the word uncomfortable with a huge ass fight. They have made those two synonymous. So now it could be you, it could be Bill Clinton, it could be Barney, it don't matter. Uncomfortable is big ass conflict. And then you have certain experiences, my mama again, where it's like, all right, now the next time she interacts with you, she expects you to act like nothing's wrong. You are not even allowed to show in your face that you were pissed off by her previous actions. You better act like we mother and daughter, because we mother and daughter. What do you mean you're uncomfortable? And we're mother and daughter. Smile, bitch, smile. So when you learn that not only can you not talk about being uncomfortable without it being a big thing, but you also still need to be okay with me. You start to use that kind of approach with people who aren't that personality type. That's where sometimes self-awareness comes. That's why it's like, it's not about you, Asia. It's not necessarily you doing something wrong. That might just be how they process their discomfort as this big burden that they can't talk about.
Yeah. So when I said
legitimately come directly to me and be like, is something wrong? And I'm like, no, nothing's wrong. The whole time in my brain, something's wrong.
Or can you even accept, like, if at the initial point of like asking them, is this okay? Is anything wrong with it? And they're like, no, I'm fine. Like, in that moment, they actually believe to themselves, like, yeah, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. But then, like, 2 weeks later, it starts lingering. It's still lingering to them. And then it's like, you know what? Actually, that I'm not okay. That wasn't, like, they had the light bulb. I'm like, oh, shit, actually, I wasn't okay with that. And then it takes them another 2 weeks to actually process, like, am I really okay? They're just as they're questioning it the same way as you, like, what the hell are my feelings about?
Yeah. It takes a while to recognize discomfort for what it is when you're not used to being allowed to recognize it.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying sometimes it has nothing to do with you, Jax. Like, I get told all the time, oh, the way you talk, it's like you talk down, you make me feel stupid. Do you feel stupid, or do I do something to make you feel that way? And then when they take a second, well, okay, point out what I say that makes you feel that way. And it's like it's not me. It's sometimes it's how they perceive themselves often. Sometimes it's me, but most of the times, most of the times, it's how they perceive themselves. It's what they are dealing with on their own end, and we gotta separate the two. So I still do my reflection, like on like every time. I like, did I say that snarky? Did I how was I feeling in that moment when I said what I said? Because sometimes it can register as I'm talking down. I do my best not to, but sometimes it comes out, and I gotta own it when it's on me. But sometimes it's not. I don't even remember how the fuck we got here. God damn it, Jax! How did we get here?
Whatever.
Jax,
was be open and honest about your feelings.
Oh, that was your advice to forging strong friendships.
Yeah.
Baby, do you have any advice?
I don't think so, because I don't know if I'm good at this. So I don't want to give out advice because I'm still figuring it out. But
so speak about yourself. How could somebody form a strong bond with you?
I'm a very affectionate person. Like I don't know. Like I'm big on, I say I love you to my friends. Like I check it. I'm very like that. So if you like are okay with showing affection, then more than likely we can be friends. Or at least, even if you're not perfect at it, if you show me that you care, then we can more than likely be friends. But guess, just try to be as pure as you can for as long as you can. And even if like being pure comes with trauma, because it's kind of like what Kuchiki said, the way he is with friendships is because of how he grew up, but the way I am with friendships is because of how I grew up. Like I grew up with a whole bunch of non-love, so I'm a very affectionate friend because I didn't have that. So I'm like, yes, I love you, because saying I love you in my family is like saying, I don't know, it's like very foreign. It's just weird. But because I was lacking in that way, to my friends, I'm just like, you're so beautiful, you're so perfect. And like most people are like, you treat all your friends like you're in a relationship with them. And I'm like, well, because technically part of me falls in love with everybody I meet. Part of me is just like, if I'm friends with you, if you make me feel at home, if you make me feel safe, then I do love you. That is part of me is falling in love with you. It is a relationship. It may not be always sexual, but even just with that notion, I think part of, I guess, our little cancel culture could be like that. Platonic relationships don't matter as much as romantic ones, because a lot of the people I know feel like, I put too much stock in platonic relationships because they don't involve any, sexual benefit or monetary benefit or whatever. But I just love people because they bring me joy, because part of their spirit is, uplifting to me, or they inspire me, or they do something that I can't do. So I want to learn it now, and I want to, I want to pick up those positive traits. But I just feel like not everybody can handle that, because that can come off intense. Not having that kind of love in your life, but showing it all the time, can come off very like, what is this girl about? Like, why is she so beastie? You know what I mean? That it could come off like that. So I get it, but if you are capable of accepting that kind of heart and that kind of energy, then we can have a long-lasting, happy friendship.
That was beautiful, for real.
Yeah.
I think for me, Jax is a jerk. I think for me, the advice I would give would be to nurture your friends. See the best in them and help that part flourish. Just help, like, pour into their cups. Help that shit overflow. Like, just... Like, I'm constantly trying to help my friends be their best self. Whatever they think that best self is, that's the part of them that I support. It doesn't matter if I think they should go left and they want to go right. I want to support their visions of themselves, and I think not enough of us do that. I think sometimes we see our friends and we think, oh, my friend has so much potential to be this, but she wants to be that. So if she wants to be this, help her be it. Like, whatever your friend wants to do, so long as it doesn't cause them harm or anyone else harm, if that's where their heart truly is, speak life into them. Help them achieve it. And I feel like not enough of us, like you said, not enough of us nurture platonic relationships in the same way that we nurture romantic ones. And I think that's why friendships is a dying, forging genuine friendships is a dying art. I think that's why cancel culture even was able to be born, because we don't have real day ones anymore. We don't have real ride or dies anymore. Like that, we are the last of the Mohicans to have that. I think the Gen Zers don't really know that. Y'all not really gonna know what that is. Y'all not really gonna know what that's like to have a friend from elementary school that you still gonna know in your 30s. You're not really gonna know that life. Not anymore.
I think my advice.
I'm blessed.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think I'm blessed that I still got that, and they're not gonna have that. You gave your advice, Amina. You giving more advice?
Wait, what was the advice I gave?
That is the most jack shit. We started with you, then we went to Kochiki, then we went to Jackson, we went to Zay.
I thought I was answering a different question.
No. You said you were the one that brought up, like, learn your language, like how you friend. I'm not the friend that's gonna call every day. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I had other advice.
Check it. Like, ain't nobody checking you. Like.
My other advice is to respect your friend's pace. If they're going to do something and they have a certain pace that they're doing it, respect it, even if it's not the pace that you would have used for yourself.
She said, fuck it, I'm giving more advice.
Right. Basically.
I do have a question after Kuchiki gives his advice.
Kuchiki gave his advice.
My advice after you.
All right, I gave you a pass for you, but damn, like,
Yeah.
what's happening?
What edible you got?
Yo, what them edibles is hidden.
It's looking like.
Them edibles must be lit.
It brought up by a meme or something I saw was the idea that men and women can't or can be just platonic friends. I feel like they can, and I feel like the ability for it to change over time or due to circumstances is not essentially switching it to they can never be friends or never be. I think it's somewhere in the middle. It's not one or the other. I personally, but I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts.
So you're asking if we think men and women could be platonic friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're saying men and women both heterosexual, because I was about to be like, don't we disprove that on a daily basis? We're all friends with Kochiki. Mm-hmm. Okay, then yes, I think the idea that men and women cannot be platonic friends is fucking asinine. I think whoever has the ideation that if a man and a woman are friends, one has to want to fuck the other. The other is asinine. It's fucking elementary. Get your mind out of the goddamn gutter. I legitimately have a friend that I have no interest in romantically. He has no interest in me romantically. We are literally just friends, and it is a beautiful friendship. I have multiple male platonic friendships, and we're just friends. We geek over shit, the same shit, and it's like a brother sister bond, and that's what it like. There is no, like, we see each other for our interests. We're not paying attention to gender in that moment because we're coming together over a common interest. The same way that men would come together and forge a friendship is the same way that we're coming together to forge a friendship. Like, it's possible. I think the problem arises when a guy is unable to take his dick out of the equation, like straight like that. Like, it's like when guys tell a girl to smile and they're like, I don't understand how that's problematic. Do you tell other men to smile? No? Then that's the problem. You think it's weird to tell other dudes to smile, but you don't see the problem with telling girls to smile. That's the problem right there. So when you can look at me and just see me for the person I am and not my gender, then we can be friends. It's when you mix the other bullshit in because you have no self-control. No, we can't just be friends. But I have plenty of mature male friends that can just see me as their friend. They're called grown-ass men.
I just feel like the reason why that notion even exists is because a lot of hetero cis men are performative as hell. Like, a lot of those friendships they come and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be friends and it's gonna be great, but there's an underlying thing there. Like, if I'm kind enough to her, she'll want to touch my penis. Like, that's, the performative aspect.
They put coins in the slot and want to get a candy.
Like, and then, because even the idea of being friend zoned is trash, because there isn't supposed to be a zone for you to be in. Because if we're friends, we're just friends. Why are you friend zoned? You being friend zoned already implicates that you came in here with other intentions, and when I was like, nah, fam, you got in your bag about it. You know what I mean? So all of that needs to be thrown in the garbage, because that's why, if a lot of, and not all, because not all hetero cis men, but if a lot of them weren't so like, let me put on these airs in order to make her comfortable so she can give me her underwear, like, that is like, you know what I mean? That's why these questions even exist, because if men just let women be women and like them anyway, like, without the idea of access to me in any form, because nobody owes anybody anything. So if you're going to be in my life, you should want to be there because you like who I am as a human being, not because you think you're getting something out of it. So, but because it doesn't work like that predominantly in this world, that's why we have terms like friend zoned and, oh yeah, we can't, there's no such thing as men and women being friends. That's why these notions exist, because there are too many wolves in sheep's clothing. So because of that, these unfortunate
unfortunate souls.
Yeah, these unfortunate things are put on, to society and to relationships in general. So if there was none of that, if there was no performative energies and no like bamboozling happening here, then there wouldn't even be a question to whether men and women can just be friends. So,
Music Ninja brings up a good question. He's like, and how many cis straight men dislike women, in all honesty? Everything's a fucking power play. Like,
that's part of it too.
If you have to do all that, you're looking at women like objects. We're not even people.
You don't like women low high key.
High key, right? It was a meme that was like, you give a man a podcast, a mic, and a place to talk in a podcast. The first topic is gonna be flaws in women, always, without a doubt. Like every time you give a man a platform, a heterosexual man a platform, he's gonna talk about what a woman isn't doing, or what she should be doing, or what's wrong with women today, or whatever. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, you bitch ass nigga. But
yo,
yeah.
The way
when you don't see us next week because we got canceled because language.
Sorry. I take back. I revoke my N-word, but I stand by the bitch ass because that's what it is.
You can keep the bitch ass. Gotta drop the N, fam.
Thank you. But, I just had to put that out there because somebody gave him a mic and he all of a sudden he wanted, like, I don't know who he think he is.
I don't even know who you talking about, but
it's this guy. He has a podcast or whatever, and like thinks. Like he thinks he has like the authority on how to deal with women and what it means. Like he the other podcast he did or whatever, something he was interviewing with like Joe Budden, who's a problem in himself. Like why would anybody give him a platform? But he said something like, things that women are being given to them from the government are the reason why they don't need men anymore. But if you took away the government assistance, like stimulus checks or welfare or whatever. He told some story about a girl who had welfare and she got with her assistance from the government, she bought like her favorite food, crab legs or whatever. And I guess because he puts seafood to affluence, don't know why, because I love seafood and I'm poor, but put seafood to affluence, and he was like, well, how could you must not need me since you can get this for yourself. And I'm like, you're putting out these harmful ideals and these men are eating it up. Like, yeah, that's right. That's why. But if he said something like, if it's an apocalypse, then they'll need us then. And I'm like, do you not see how like the fact that there has to be an end of the world for a heterosexual woman to need a heterosexual man? Do you not see that you're proving other people's point by making that point yourself? Like, he is just complete and total trash, like garbage. Like that. He is what happens when you have a penis and you think that you're entitled to every single woman in the world. He is what happens, and he is just complete and total garbage, and he is the problem. Like clearly, I swear. No, it's not alleged.
Fib said allegedly. Yep. I mean, that's how we gotta roll. Allegedly.
I can honestly say there is literally nothing alleged about it. His name is Kevin Samuels with one L.
Right.
Look him
allegedly.
Up. Look him up, and you will see.
No, he did say that. He was on the shade room.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Citing the sources.
He was asked if a man would take. If as a man would he take the food stamps, and he was like, no, man, I'm supposed to like struggle or whatever. Like essentially the message is, if you're not struggling on purpose,
you're supposed to starve.
You're not a real man.
Right.
If you go get food, you gotta starve to be a real man.
The most harmful ideals and the most stupid tropes.
You realize you are like actually making it seem like men are not useful except for when they're the last resort.
That's why I'm like, do you not see that you're proving the point of women that feel like they don't need men? Because you're basically saying you're not even irrelevant unless it's a life or death situation. But you're so busy trying to appear strong because he thinks that's what the heterosexual trope is. Like, you think that's what you need to be. But nobody asks for that. Like, nobody's saying anything about that. And he's the reason why people say that women and men can't be friends platonically, and like people like him are part of the issue here, you know? And then there's the, what is it? What do you call them? The women.
Pick-me's?
There you go. I was like, the women.
The pick-me's.
Yeah,
the pick-me's sometimes be the worst part of any following of that kind of
serious,
like
dumb.
this
I
word.
believe
Whether it's what's his name? That fake doctor.
Umar
Johnson. Lord Jesus.
Should we be saving this for the relationship episode? That's in 2 weeks, y'all.
We're not talking about relationships. We're just talking about in general when these people have, because part of their platform is just to talk about what is the appropriate way, apparently, or the normal way to be a man or to be a woman, not necessarily interacting with each other in a romantic sense, but like how do you portray yourself in society? How do you walk through life?
Gender norms, which we also have an episode on. Y'all giving away our secrets.
Mess, all of them. The point is,
they all sound problematic.
Yeah, they are. That's the point. Like they're all just.
Dang.
Ooh, Lord.
So I guess we put what are their names again? We gonna add them on the cancel list.
Dr. Umar.
Is he a real doctor?
I'm
embarrassing.
Okay. What's the other one?
Uj is his name from that one, as the motherland declares it.
He upgraded. He changed it up.
What is happening? I'm confused. I got Umar Johnson. Who's the other guy?
Kevin Samuels.
And bum ass. What's his name? Joe Budden.
Oh,
we canceling the bars?
First of all, we all saw him crying on Love and Hip Hop. So
we did not all see that because I don't watch that. So y'all saw that.
Like
he's addicted. He has issues.
I don't know nothing about that. I just know that one song he came out with. That's the only thing I know about the man.
He needs to go on somewhere. Like I don't know. They need to stop.
I'm with it. I trust y'all. They're not interested in doing any better.
Like men and women being friends, I think for me, the issue is, I think in general, it's when you're an attractive person. I think that's where sometimes, or conventionally attractive, I should say, that's where sometimes it gets be a little. I find it's mostly those people that have the problem believing that there can be platonic friendships because their whole life, the way they socialize with people has an undertone of flirtation or sexuality anyway. So it's like some people legit walking around don't know how to do platonic because they never have. They've never encountered anyone where there wasn't some underlying tension. So when you come along and you're like, we're just friends, they don't know how to handle that. And then you add the fact that men are oftentimes sexualized at just a fast and early rate as women, but in the reverse. Whereas we're sexualized to be submissive, they're sexualized to be commanding. So like when you have boys who are losing their virginities at 12 and think it's normal, they don't know how to be a platonic friend with any woman because their first experience with a girl was not, give me your crayon, let's color something together. It was, can I kiss you? Let me be, and all the other stuff. So that's the other part of the conversation is they some of them legitimately don't know how. This is how they talk to their friends.
Right.
I've seen guys who their friends they've never ever had any kind of sexual relationship with, but they'll still be like, hey, yo, ma, you fine as fuck. Like they still interact the same way they would with their girlfriend. They just know in their head they're never going to screw that girl. But in terms of behavior outside looking in, you don't see any difference between how they treat their girlfriend and how they treat their female friends because they don't know how to make that distinction.
That's fair.
That's crazy.
That's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think for me, it is easy to speak to Zay's point about like friend zone. I think I just make it real clear from the gate, like I don't like people. Like that's not how I operate. So I think I already, the door is closed from jump. So whatever your intentions are, I make it very clear that that's not possible at the outset of the friendship. So it doesn't matter what you thought because here's how it's going down. It's not. And I think that kind of sets the tone for how we move forward. Because then whatever their ideations were, they kind of like, oh, well, damn, she ain't even give me a chance. You're absolutely right. I did not. So you going to get in this little friendship seat or not? Because that's all I got for you, sir. I got friendship. That's the only position available. Because I I can't even entertain anything else. I don't have it in me. I don't even want to. And so I think that's how I just be like, that's how we rolling. That's how we rocking. And I've had guys that thought, oh, I'm a good. First off, you can't manipulate a manipulator. If I wanted to be a trash person, I am very good at manipulating people into doing things that I want them to do. I hate doing that. I do not like doing that. It feels dirty. So I can peep it a mile away. When you think you're doing it, you're not good at it. I'm much better. I got a degree in manipulation, sir. Like, you're not going to out manipulate me. So when you think you're not. and I'm just, I would, goodbye. I'd rather close the door on you and leave you on the outside of nothing. Now you're not even an acquaintance. You just stranger. Then try to have the whole awkward, you want to be my friend, but now you're trying to convince yourself to be more. We're not doing that. Yo, Jax is wild. I think Jax is tapped out. So...
No, I'm not tapped out. I was waiting for my turn. I'm chilling.
Jax, you like the kid in the class that sits still. Go, Jax. Can you be platonic friends with somebody you're attracted to?
That wasn't the question.
That's my question to you.
Of course.
That's why you smiling like a Cheshire cat. No.
I mean, is it easy?
I got voice notes that say otherwise.
Did I put it in the voice? I don't know. But yeah, I can.
It's turning into a different podcast.
Right, it turns out another vibe. But yeah, I can.
Okay.
I'm not saying that if the opportunity did.
Yo.
In the middle. That's what I meant by being in the middle.
Yo, why are you out here looking? Yo. Really?
That's how me and Zay got together.
First of all, don't trip, cause don't trip, cause I scooped you. That's number one. You did not bag me up. I bagged you up. That's number one. So don't trip.
Talk to him. How was it? How it went down in the DMs?
There was no DMs back in our day.
It was
back in Skonex.
But no, seriously, I mean, like, if you, I don't know, the idea that if you are a good friend, there's the reward of not being a friend anymore or being more than a friend is weird. Because if you're a good friend, you should just be that. But again, if there are two friends that are like attracted to each other and like y'all decide to take it there, that's different than like being somebody's friend in hopes that they one day see you as more. Like, that's not
the
same thing.
Right.
That's that mixy shit.
Right.
Yeah, like that's
not to be confused with mixy leg.
I'm dead.
Bark.
You would think that.
Yeah, but Asia and I were friends for a long time before we ever.
Was it platonic?
Yeah, we were literally because.
Yeah. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, it was. It couldn't have been more platonic.
Okay.
Really, that's why it really just smacked us both in the face. But
okay.
My aunt's coming.
Yeah. Like our families were like, they're gonna be a thing, but we were like besties, like, so we didn't know, but I feel like if I had known, like, if I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be her friend because I like her, and one day she's gonna like me back, like, that's
creepy.
Strange. Like, yeah, that's weird as hell, but definitely, like, it's possible, but it shouldn't. Friendship should not exist with the hopes of something more. Friendship should just exist naturally, and if something grows organically, romantically, then fine. Like, that's fine. But
facts. Because both my mom's best friends are males, so yeah.
Right. Almost all of my mother's friends are males too. So I don't.
I think as long as when you're friends with someone, you can still give them advice that you would genuinely give your other friends. then it really doesn't matter if you're actually attracted to that person. As long as you're attracted to the person, it's not affecting your behavior as a true friend.
Right.
You know? Because I've definitely had feelings for someone, and they actually ended up getting with my best friend because they didn't know I had feelings for them. My best friend had feelings for the person, and she didn't know I had feelings for him. So here they are dating right in front of me, not knowing that I have feelings for this person. But I look at it and I'm like, okay, I got to step back a little bit because I can't watch this up close. But I was still friends to them both. Like, I never gave them advice that I wouldn't have given a friend. I had to be like, okay, I'm attracted to you, but I'm not going to go past that. And I'm not going to hold out hopes to go past that. As far as I'm concerned, y'all are in a relationship for life. And this was in high school, so of course not. But in my brain, y'all in a relationship for life, and I went about my business. You know, had other crushes, did my thing. And that person and I never, even after they broke up or whatever, him and I never explored that. Not because of her, just because.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Ask it.
Let me ask y'all something. So, if you platonic friends with somebody and they date, you know, your homegirl or your homeboy or whatever, and you are attracted to them, but you don't say nothing, and then when they break up, you get with them, does that make you a friend to the original person or not?
It depends on how you got together, I think.
Like if you was plotting on their shit the whole time, then clearly
Fib said plotting, not plotting.
Plotting is
plotting tells you right there.
You're not a friend. You said plotting. You used the wrong word.
I'm weak.
But like, if they broke up due to whatever circumstances were between
and you just
them,
happen to slip, trip, and do a split, you know.
Let me. Hey, you ain't saying the story properly.
Oh, there's a story?
Oh, there's a story?
She said what she said.
We need to end the stream. What's the stream? How we gonna end this?
Wait a minute. The tea is hot.
She played too much.
I ain't going.
Everybody, how do you feel? She playing.
Yeah.
I need to defend myself, but I can't do it on screen. So
I just wanted to know if so to answer the scenario without the context, because we're gonna get the tea. Indian Arrowhead, I got you on the tea. I'll let you know if Jax is defended or not. I'll let you know if she's acquitted, if the glove fit or not. But if you was plotting, you trash. If you wasn't plotting, it was a happy accident. Like I said, you slip, trip, you did a split, then you straight.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
It wasn't a plot. Okay.
You doing a lot of it.
It wasn't a plot. It wasn't a plot.
It was.
All right.
Clearly it's
Okay.
The way they both looking at you, Coochie and Anita is giving you the beans.
All I'm saying is, if you somebody's man's and they with
okay, no. The question is, this is how you supposed to.
Go ahead.
Can your friend date your ex?
Did you get permission from me to date my ex?
Okay, go ahead. Continue. No.
If you didn't get permission, if you didn't get permission for me to date my ex, you sus.
That was already in
sus for not talking to the friend. Because if there's no bad blood, if you're not doing nothing shady, it's nothing to come to your friend and be like, hey, I know y'all didn't work out, but would you have any type of feelings? And y'all could talk about the feelings. It's not necessarily like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, so then you're not going to date the person. It's why are you uncomfortable? Are you uncomfortable because you still have feelings for the person? Are you uncomfortable because that person did you something real shady, shysty, so it's like, I'm going to look at you sus for being okay with dating that type of man? Or is it just, oh, I never thought of him dating other people, but like, give me some time, I might be okay with it. You know? So it's really about having that conversation, what comes out of that conversation.
If you didn't even talk to me and you just went and dated my ex, you sus, because it's like, why didn't you talk to me? What were you afraid that I would say that you just thought, let me just date my ex anyway and not even say shit to her? That means, fuck the friendship, the dick is more important.
Mm-hmm. There was a time
homies over hoes.
Ironically enough,
hold on.
Ironically enough, the guy asked her for permission.
Yes. What?
The guy asked the friend for permission to date the other friend?
Yes.
But see, now I'm looking at the friend. Like, why didn't my friend come to me? My friend is supposed to come to me.
Right.
I was in the chat, as you gamers say. I was in the chat.
Damn. The glove fit, Jax. Damn.
I mean, she's not the one.
Oh, you're not in wrong? You're not. Okay.
I'm not wrong.
All right. Damn, that tea was hot. Yeah, no, I would. My friend is sus. Because why is the man coming to me before my friend? If you supposed to be my friend, you supposed to come to me first. I'm not supposed to hear nothing from nobody before my friend.
Period.
Right.
Period. And that's why I'm married.
Right.
What is everyone's top 2 red flags? Like, if you wanted your audience to go back and look through their list of friends right now, what are the 2 top red flags you would tell them? If your friend does this, girl, cancel them.
If I tell you good news,
Leave you alone at the club, or y'all go to some party together and they leave you, that's a dump. Especially if you fried. I don't give a fuck if you always the fried friend. You better not. If they ever left you, delete them. It's done. Conversation done. There's no friendship.
Is Music Ninja still in the chat? I need to.
And all her extraness is disappearing. The louder and more rambunctious she gets, the more she disappears into the background.
Oh my God. Okay, so red flag if your friend abandons you anywhere. I would say if I tell you good news and you are not like elated for me.
Yes, that's the one.
If I tell you good news and you say anything other than something that sounds like support, dub.
Yeah.
That's the fucking one right there.
Goodbye. I said good day.
Or if everything's a competition, like if I'm in my apartment and you come in here and you see it and I'm excited about my freaking refrigerator or something, and you like, yeah, well mine's is stainless still. Like, bitch, first of all, like, I didn't ask you what yours was. I'm telling you that mine's is this. If everything's a competition or you feel like you gotta one up me,
That Me Too song, yo, facts.
like, damn.
Can't do it. Kuchiki, red flag.
Somebody's holding on to some information that you know is not necessarily just like hearsay, but is like information that could like that could do some malicious shit to me, like is extremely harmful, and you don't say anything to me. That's a serious violation of the trust.
Right.
It really is.
And also, I'm never really comfortable around people. Like, I'm all for the tea, I'm all for a little kiki, a little gossip, but I'm not comfortable with somebody that's constantly talking bad about somebody they stay around. Because I'm like, yo, if you stay around them but you're always talking shit, that means when I'm not here, you talking crazy about me. That's supposed to be your man's. Like, if that's your bestie and every time I see you, yeah, girl, guess what they had? I'm like, damn, bitch.
But also tell me what they had, but damn, bitch.
I can only imagine. You know what I mean? Because they be like the people that they claim to be closest to that they're constantly running their mouth about. So it's like, if that's your man's and you with them and y'all experience life together, I can only imagine how you talk about me when I'm not here. That, I don't know if that would be seen as like a red flag, but I'm just never comfortable.
No, definite red flag.
Yeah, like I'm just not. Yeah.
Two-Face is a red flag for sure.
And if I only hear from you when you need me.
Mm-hmm.
If you only ever hit me up, hey, you know what I could use right now? A new number, bitch. Don't call mine. Like,
we call that the convenience friend. If you only hit me up when it's convenient, if you only hit me up when you call all 79 contacts and ain't nobody answer you, get the fuck on. Like, it ain't nobody got time for that. Because I'm not about to be the 80th one picking up the phone doing whatever the fuck you talking about. Because you ain't calling me because I'm the first person you thought about. You called me because all your fake contacts wasn't hitting. So no, go ahead on and do what you was gonna go and do. That's it. Red flag.
I want to call Music Ninja out just because of what Jack said. I have definitely gone to the club with Music Ninja and been like,
let's talk about it, Ninja. You're gonna defend yourself if you're still in the chat. I don't know. You might be in that. You might be in that seventh circle on the outside.
I've really been in favor of leaving someone that I knew who had gotten too drunk, but there's a
I tell you sober, I'm gonna leave you in advance though. It's not. I literally be like, look, hold your liquor because I'm not gonna hold you or the liquor. I will leave. I'm going home.
Right. And it's also like if you're one of those people where it's like when you drink, you get reckless. You put other people in danger, or you make them go above and beyond to take care of you. That's when I'm like, no, I'm gonna leave you because I've told you most times I've told you this while sober. You drink, you're this kind of drunk, and this is a problem. Like she wasn't like a close friend, but we were trying to learn to be friends, and I quickly shut that down because twice she got drunk. First time she got drunk, and she basically left one of my friends with scratches all over him because she started like she was one of those who just felt like hitting things while she was drunk, and she's a girl, so he kept his hands to himself. But he left with scratches, and I invited him to this function. So I was like, I can't fuck with you there. Then she came to my birthday party, and she got so drunk, she left her purse with a bunch of strangers that she had been hanging out with without telling us. And then she started trying to walk into the street with moving traffic and getting violent with us when we try to stop her from getting killed herself in the middle of the street. And I'm just like, oh no, absolutely not. Where's my cab? I'm going home. Goodbye. Absolutely not. You're not going to be in the street possibly dying because you can't hold your liquor. No.
Yeah, nah. That's really taking it there. Nah.
In terms of red flags, one of the biggest red flags is if you start acting towards me differently depending on who's around. Red flag. Because that tells me you're either portraying me as a certain way to other people, or you're secretly have some type of feeling about who I am and how I present myself. And that's fine. You can have that feeling, but don't pretend to be my friend when you know damn well you feel either embarrassed or you feel like we're too different. Go on then. Because there's always someone for my specialty of friendship. You ain't the only person.
Sometimes it's not you though. Sometimes people like to put on for other people. Sometimes it ain't actually to do with you.
I'm not saying it's about me, but I'm saying whatever is causing that difference, whatever that may be, whether it's your own insecurity or not, do me the favor of go pretend for somebody else.
And to piggyback off of that, also, I don't like the friend that always got something to say to me about what somebody else said about me. Like, bitch, because I don't care about what they said. My question is, why they feel comfortable saying it to you? What were y'all talking about?
Like, why my name coming up? I'm out there.
Right. It's because it usually 9 times out of 10 is somebody I don't like. If you calling me to tell me what somebody I don't like said, why they told you? What y'all was talking about? How I come up? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that always gives me a red flag because I'm just like, y'all not even really supposed to be cool like that. So the fact that they was around you enough to be saying all this stuff about me, like, and then it's like, did you defend me in my absence? Like, what?
What did you say? In response.
Yeah, why?
Let's talk about it. Since you want to talk about it.
It's not even what did you say in response to what they said. It's more like, what conversations did y'all have prior to this that made them feel comfortable to even tell you that information? Because nobody will come. Anybody that rides for you, nobody's gonna go to them like, yeah, and this bit that, like, that doesn't happen with people that ride for you. Because you don't step to somebody who rides to somebody to talk shit. You don't do that.
You not.
So to me, it's like, if you go to somebody to talk shit about somebody else, that means they already know that you will. They can do that with you. If that's already established, something happened. Y'all have a rapport already. So now that this information is coming out, so now that always gives me like the side eye face because I'm like, okay, that means y'all have discussed me before, and the only reason why you coming to tell me now is because I'm here now. You know what I mean? So y'all something came up before and y'all was cool with this. It was a key, but now, you know. So I don't know. That's a big red flag for me. Don't come to tell me what somebody else said because I'm not gonna be mad at them. I'm gonna be mad at you. Like, why did they feel comfortable saying that? What kind of rapport do you guys have that I don't know about?
Yeah.
But I always ask the question as well, though, of what did you say? Because I always want people like to say, "Oh, this person said," but you were a contributor to that conversation. So how did you contribute? And I'm well aware that people can lie, but I'm also a very good lie detector. So lie to me, lie right in my face, so I can see what your tells are. Go ahead and tell me how you contributed to this conversation, because clearly they feel comfortable enough to tell you to your face how they feel about me in a less than stellar light. You're not going to go to Kuchiki. You're not going to go to Amina and throw dirt on my name because you already know those are my day ones. You already know they're not going to let that. They're not going to let that. They're going to be like, not the one.
Right.
They're not going to stand for that. So if they felt comfortable saying something negative about me to you, you had to say something negative back. So what you say?
That's my point.
That's why I'm like, what you say? How this conversation? Let's talk about this conversation. I'll be all in.
And I think this goes for your friends as well as what do you do when you're thinking about certain friends is, I'm not with the friendships where you keep tally of everyone's mistakes.
Oof.
Like, does that make sense? Where it's like, if you see that you are subconsciously starting to bring up everything your friend does that either you don't vibe with necessarily, but you never say anything, you're just secretly holding a list. Consciously,
that's that.
Or your friend is doing it to you, and you start to recognize that in certain situations, maybe y'all are joking or maybe y'all drinking, and that's the only time shit comes up. You have to, as a person, recognize, okay, maybe you don't really think of this person as a friend because you're low key tallying everything they've ever done wrong, but you're not saying anything. So you might want to recheck if you really see this person as a friend.
Because honestly, like, let's really talk about it. People keep people around because it's fun to like hate them. Like, nobody says that. People have friends that they have around because it's like, here come this fucking failure. Like, here come this loser. Here come this, you know what I mean? Like it may not be like even inherently intentional, but again, that it also ties into how you grew up, or your neighborhood person that you always like, that kind of thing. Like, it's like, here come this motherfucker, and you always have something going on in your head. But
it's
if you
a part
don't have
that, people mentality,
right? People definitely enjoy hating for some reason. Like, I don't know what that is, but it's like people will literally be your friend just so they can. It's kind of like the concept of a group of pretty girls keeps an ugly girl around them, so they can remind themselves, like, we are the pretty ones and she's the ugly one. So they don't really view her as a friend. They view her as like, you are here to make us look better. So it's almost like a your head. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people misconstrue friendship with that kind of mentality. Like, you are here so I can hate safely. You are here to boost up my insecurity. Boost down my insecurity. You are here so I can project my negative feelings somewhere else. And a lot of people do their friendships like that. Like, they think they're in friendships, but really they're like frenemies with people, and they don't even know. Like, they think the relationships are genuine, but whole time it's like, here this hoe go. Like, in the movies when everybody's in a circle and they whisper and the one girl walk by and they go, "Hey girl," like that kind of situation. A lot. Like, that's not okay to, you know what I mean? Like, in movies and stuff, like, for the punchline, it's funny, it's a key, but like in real life, that shit is like mad sickening. Like, that's not okay. Like,
also, I think
Brenda from movie too.
Yeah,
but you see, sorry, go ahead, Calvin.
I think it's also this idea that with friendship, there should be no problems. Like, there should never be any kind of conflict. And that's just superficial friendship, So, like, in college, I did a similar thing where it's like I was having a birthday party or a room party in my dorm. And my best friend, everyone knows that this person is my best friend. I didn't tell her about it. I told other people, our mutual friends. And then she came to find out about it, didn't care. And then she came to me, she's like, why didn't I get an invite to the party? And I said some slick shit that wasn't really the actual issue. The actual issue was, for months, she had been treating me like a last ditch effort friend. Like, oh, you're the friend I hang out with when the other kids that I want to get their approval aren't available. But instead of approaching her about that issue, I retaliated because I had been keeping that as a list subconsciously. So I retaliated with, well, like, I'm not going to invite you to my party. And it was like, I had to own that. I had to be like, wait, had I mentioned that we stopped being friends long before my party thing happened, then I would have had a valid thing to say. But because I didn't list it, anything I felt after that, anything I did after that was complete, like any reasoning behind it was invalid because I never said anything. She was dead wrong for treating me how she did, but that's invalid the moment I didn't open my mouth and say some shit.
But that's also ties in with the notion like that your friends should automatically know how you feel because they're your friends. Like, no, fam. Like, just because we close and
I
we
disagree.
cool,
My best friends better know. Y'all motherfuckers better know.
I'm dead. I mean, I feel that way to a certain extent, but in reality, like, because there is no such thing as perfect friendship, your friend is gonna get you tight, and unless you tell them, you're just gonna walk around tight. Like that's it. Like,
so when you get upset, Jax is allowed to be like, Zay's not mad. She's perfectly fine.
She does do that, and so she looks at me. I'm guessing. Like, if I'm mad and she says, "Hey, you mad?" and I say I'm fine, she's gonna believe that because
Jax.
But because she knows me, she's gonna be like, oh, she ain't really fine.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But okay, but that's only to a certain extent.
But that's
like,
what I'm saying. Because when we talk about like best friends, I'm saying best friends. We talking top tier best friend inner circle.
Well, then, yeah, 9 times out of 10, your friends are gonna know if you feel some type of way.
You gonna know.
But,
all right.
But a lot of friendships aren't as top tier as we like to believe them to be. That's part of what I'm saying.
But Amina just said she used to be my best friend. So you used to be my best friend. You don't invite me to a party. I should know something is fucking up. Something's up.
Even the whole system of having to figure it out when there's so much.
You absolutely right. But I'm saying, like, if you've been vibing with somebody to the point that y'all are calling each other best friends, there's some shit that you
agree.
There's some shit that's just unspoken. Like, I could tell before Kuchiki opens his mouth if he's in a talking mood because I could see his mannerism shift. And I just know Kuchiki needs space. Don't bother him because y'all know how Aries roll.
but that also boils down to like how perceptive you are as a person. Like, you are naturally perceptive. So even if you weren't close friends to the people you're around, you would be able to pick up on like, hey, something is off. Even most people who are in close relations aren't as perceptive. So you can be somebody's best friend and be like, and not be sure because you may not be that kind of perceptive person. Right. Not everybody is that.
I could be like Jax because Jax might be like, Kuchiki, why you not talking?
No, but that's the point that I'm making. Like, you can, withhold somebody deep in your heart and hold them to the highest esteem. But if you're not like just perceptive naturally, or if you're used to taking people at face value, like, if I'm not okay and I say I'm okay, to you I'm okay because you take me at my word. Some people don't have the tool sharpened of like deduction. Like, some people don't always.
That was the nicest way to say some people are dumb. I love it.
No, I'm honestly saying it because it's not necessarily dumbness. It's just some people aren't always on. Like, meaning like certain people always have it on.
The elevator don't go all the way up.
Some shit ain't right here, but some people are like, you straight? Yeah, I'm straight. She straight. You know what I mean? Because if you say you straight, then 9 times nobody expects people to be like they lying or whatever. Especially if you're supposed to be friends. Because technically, the same way you're saying that you know your friends is the same way you're not supposed to lie to your friend. So if your friend asks you if you're good and you say you're good, technically that's supposed to be that.
Well, see, we New Yorkers, when we say we good, that's so loaded. Cause like, I'm good, like I'm straight in this moment. I'm good, like I'm good. I don't want to talk about it right now. That's a loaded statement. I'm like,
I feel you, but I know you feel me. Like, that doesn't.
Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying, but that's why I'm like, it's so. Language in and of itself is so loaded. Like, it's so hard to navigate. And so many people that say things and then they be like, but you know what I mean, but you didn't say what you meant. You said something else, and now I gotta try and figure out based off the words you chose, which don't actually mean what you meant to say. Right. And now
no people respond to how they feel you said something, not actually what you said.
I will never forget having a conversation with somebody, and this man looked me dead in my face and said, "I'm listening to what you're not saying, fam. What? Why? Why are you doing that? I'm choosing my words on purpose for you to listen to what I'm actually saying, and you making up words that I didn't say and responding to that. I'm not saying that." And he's like, "I'm listening to what you're not saying." That sounded crazy to me, but he was so accustomed to trying to
listening to the implications of what you said, but then
that's not what he said. I'm listening to what you don't say. But why? I'm telling you exactly what I mean. I'm trying not to say. I'm saying what I mean, meaning what I say, and trying not to say it mean.
Nobody works like that though. That's the beauty of it.
But I do, and as my friend, you supposed to know how I work, especially if we've been at this friendship shit for 8 years.
8 years. Supposed to is loaded as hell though.
There go that longevity shit we talking
about. Supposed to is loaded. That's heavy. That's different.
At 8 years in, we're having the same conversations.
I mean, I agree because my mind works the same way. Like, damn, it's been all these years and you still don't know how I operate. Like, come on. But every day is a learning experience. Every day you have to teach somebody how to do right by you because nobody's the same all the time.
Yeah.
That you're by your definition, that implies that nobody changes. That implies that everything stays stagnant, and that's not how.
No, but there are certain things about my personality that haven't changed. There are some parts of me that are consistent, and me being precise with my language has consistently maintained throughout my existence.
Maybe so, but that doesn't mean people's perception to your preciseness hasn't changed. So either way, there is something in the concoction here that has a shift, even if it's not you. And it takes two people to maintain a relationship. So it's not only on you or how you speak or how your diction comes across. It's also how that person's mental capacity is able to take you in. So at the end of the day, there is.
At the end of the day, he was a trash friend. He got dropped.
Right. No, but y'all understand my point. Like, even though we want to assume that, hey, the years will teach you how to love me or teach you how to be, great to me. Nobody's the same person every 24 hours.
No, in my friendships, I'm very explicit. I tell you exactly what kind of person I am. I'm very transparent, but I also think that people come with their own experiences, and they kind of come with it like, yeah, people say what they mean, but they don't really mean that. And like, he really came at me with I've heard that before. You don't really mean that. And I'm like, no, fam. I say what I mean what I say, and I try not to say it mean. Every time, all the time. You'll see consistently 8 years later, I've been doing the same shit. So why do you keep doing the same shit? Like, why do we keep having the same arguments of you hearing shit I'm not saying? I am very clear. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, because those are the only words that matter. Stop looking for shit I'm not saying. And it was always the same argument of, but in my experience, fuck your experience. I'm a different person.
Feel you, but what he's saying is also a very valid thing. It's like what Kuchiki said, based off how you grow up and based off your environment around you, that already teaches your mind how to deal with it. It may not always be right for every person. That's why people have to learn different experiences and different people, because what you've grown with is not always what you grow to. You get what I'm saying?
Friendships can't even survive the pandemic because it's like the way the dynamic was before the thing. But post-pandemic, when people done gone through some shit, y'all are realizing like,
this shit stressed friendships.
Relationships and friendships, yo, they.
Woo, the people that got stuck in quarantine together. Let's talk about it in the dating episode. Oh man.
On the next episode.
Oh man, you guys, we gonna call it here. Thank you so much for rocking with us for this 2+ hour stream. We had a lot to unpack, y'all. Friendships is a lot.
Special occasion is not 2 hours, y'all. Like, don't be scared to come back next week. It's not always 2 hours.
I mean, 2 hour streams are normal on Twitch. Like normal streams be 4 or 5 hours. So we ain't doing nothing. People are like 2 hours. Why you complaining? We happy to be here
today, guys. Okay.
People love these. We fine. We chilling. Please join us next week when we talk about allyship and we discuss some questions like, should you correct your loved ones when they showcase some form of bigotry? Should we do that? Should when you gotta
or you want to fall on?
Are there some passable forms of bigotry that you might let somebody say and be like, all right, that's not harmful, yeah. And stay tuned because we will definitely have a guest on our show. Maybe it'll be a recognizable guest, maybe you'll recognize the face. Maybe you'll see a familiar face next week's episode. But yes, it's going to be very, very spicy as we talk about allyship and our role in defending other groups of other. Yes. All right, so we are about to hit up a raid and love on somebody thickly. I'm seeing that fool Noah is live. So let's go show him some thick ass love. We're gonna hit that. We're gonna do that raid rank quick. We're gonna live our life right, live our life twice, and love thick as fuck, y'all. Okay, thanks. Bye. Nope. We ended. All right. Let me use that.